Hey, everybody. It's been 10 months since I last posted a video on here, and so much has happened since that time. I wasn't sure I wanted to come back on here and start posting again, but I'm feeling that inclination that I need to go back and redo some videos telling my stories about growing up in the LDS church. I need to clean up some videos because I use language that YouTube doesn't like and that some of my viewers might not like, and I don't want to push people off. So I have to, some of them I got to redo and I got to edit them. Videos aren't very good, and I want them to start being good. I had said for the longest time I was going to go into the YouTube studio and learn how to go in there and make really good videos. Well, and you can see my background, it's my office, which is our dining room in our house. This is what I have to work with, guys. So this is what I'm going to work with. I'm going to keep telling my stories. There were speeches I gave, what is this, 2021, when I was competing with Toastmasters. Stories speeches that I would like to tell again in the way I want to tell them and not restricted by contest requirements. My neighbors driving by. I want to tell funny stories, stories that are inspiring, because there's a lot going on in the world, and a lot of it's not good. We need things that make us laugh. We need things that give us hope. I want to be a force for good, not a force for abrasion. And I think some of my stories I was telling from a place of anger, which at the time that's what I was working through. And sometimes I'm still angry about things, but I've had to come to terms with the fact that there's certain things I don't have control over. Earlier this year in February, our sewer backed up into our house, into a corner of it. And through that water damage restoration we went through, and then having the plumbers come out, finding out that our foundation needed stabilization. And that was a $45,000 job. We had to get a loan in order to pay for it. And then another $36,000 in plumbing work that is still not finished. We still have excavation holes going under our house because the city is just dragging with signing everything off, and just learning how, oh my God, bureaucrats. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, this started in February. Here we are in July, and it's still, the work's still not done. And right now, where I'm sitting on a carpeted floor on one of those plastic roller plates, there's moisture coming up through the foundation. So it's like, this house was built in '84. We knew when we bought it it was an old house, but it had had a lot of work done. It had been remodeled. But you don't know what you don't know. But the thing is, the house is paid for, so it's ours, and we're grateful for that. And we're in a really great neighborhood. So my point is I'm back. I'm back, and I'm gonna be doing weekly videos again, talking about the things that I have found to be helpful on my journey toward well-being. It was a year ago I started meditating every day, a meditation practice. And I made meditation videos just for myself. And I thought, well, I should make them nice to put them on YouTube so that other people could benefit from them. So I want to do that. And you've heard me talk about my journals in the past that I sell on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description box to my author page, because yesterday I finally figured out, at least I think, how to convert them to hardcover. I found a lot of people like the hardcover versions of journals. Like if you want to do a gratitude journal or just a daily, like diary type of journal. Because the ones I sell they're 120-page paperbacks. And in order for me to even make a little bit of money off those, I have to sell them for a lot higher than I really want to because Amazon just raised their pricing on that type of content so that I only make 50%. If you're an author, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, finally figured out how to convert them to hardcover. I did my first one yesterday. We'll wait and see what KDP has to say about that. And I'm about to release my first book that I've finally been working on for the past 2 years. And I'm going to get it out and publish it, and it will be available in all three formats: paperback, hardbound, as well as e-format for Kindle to read. What's it called? Kindle Unlimited. So I have a lot of things in the works, and I've started my weekly blog again. And that one, gosh, it's been 2 years since I posted anything there. I just felt like I wasn't reaching anybody. And I do have at least one new subscriber because I joined a natural living community in January through Aromahead Institute, which is the school I've been going to get my aromatherapy certification. And I'd finally decided this year was the year I was going to finish that certification to become an aromatherapist. So I'll be talking some about the oils. I started this channel back in 2020 when I was being mentored by Postmaster Darren LaCroix, and I was going to Stage Time University wanting to be a professional speaker, and his requirement was that we needed to have YouTube pages. YouTube channels. And I had videos there for that. And that's why some of the videos aren't very good. A lot of them are YouTube lives. A lot of them will say 77-day video challenge, which was something that Darren started. And I'll probably explain that in another video. So that way when you see all these videos labeled 77-day video challenge, you know what I'm talking about. And I know I'm just going all over the place here because I have so many ideas in my head for what I want to express through this channel. So there's going to be different types of videos, but I promise it's going to be positive content because I'm just, I did that for so long, being angry and just picking the heck out of things and being very critical. And what it did was it made me physically sick. That's what it did. It made me physically sick. Uh, Earlier this year in January, I was diagnosed with prediabetes, so I had to really kick it into gear, and I went completely low carb, whole foods, no sugar, and I dropped 22 pounds. And I feel great. So, and I want to keep going that way. And most of it's carnivore. So I might be talking a little bit about that stuff, but I don't want that to be a focus on the channel. There's enough content creators out there that are doing stuff like that. But it's just I like to tell stories. I like to tell stories, and if it can help other people, then that's my point. The whole thing with continuing that the multi-level marketing story, because I've been in 30 of them. 30 over 40 years, 42 years. And I was interviewed by a couple of the anti-MLM creators back in 2021, and that started something because I found out there was an audience that wanted to hear about all my experiences with all these different companies. And that story still needs to be told because there needs to be a certain amount of awareness to people, especially if they're getting prospected by somebody. And unfortunately, 2 years ago when my husband lost his job, we had a neighbor here that prospected us for a company, and I think I've about it a little bit in a previous video. And we joined that company. It was the second time we joined it, and this was after I thought I was done. But the thing is, I need to draw parallels between why we got caught up into that, joined in that company again, and a lot of it has to do with growing up in the Mormon church, and a lot of it has to do with my having bipolar disorder too. Mental health plays a lot into why people become targets for those kind of companies, unfortunately. That's another separate video for another time, but I'm just trying to tell you that this is what this channel is going to be about, is talking about these different things. And I would really like to get an audience, more of an audience, a bigger audience than what I have now, because I want to get the message out there. So you'll see me doing more videos. We're almost at 10 minutes here, and I'm going to leave it at that. So thanks for watching. I'm back. look for another videos coming soon, and we'll see you later. Bye.